Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gaming with me, Tony Mo. We are here today to talk Rainbow Six Siege. In fact, we're going to be taking a look at what is a content leak, a potential content leak for Rainbow Six Siege. We're going to be taking a look at some leaked information regarding the two brand new operators that are supposedly coming with the first piece of DLC this February. Now, as I said, it's all potential because none of it's been confirmed by Ubisoft, the team behind Siege. We don't know if any of this is real, if it's Photoshop, if it's fake. It all looks pretty real, and I really hope it is because I love the theme that they're doing with what potentially could be the new DLC, and I also love where they're going in terms of direction with these two new operators. Now, we've actually been seeing leaks for over a month now. We saw a leak for a start screen for Rainbow Six Siege Black Ice. We've heard rumors that the new map is actually going to take place on a yacht on a frozen lake, so it makes sense that the two new operators that were recently leaked would also follow that theme. So let's just go ahead and dive into it and take a look at these two brand new operators. We've got Buck on the attacking side and Frost on the defensive side. They appear to be some sort of Canadian task force. They both have maple leaves on their uniforms, at least giving us an idea as to what country they are aligned with. That's a big part of all the task force in Rainbow Six Siege, in the Rainbow team as a whole. You know, they come from different countries. You got the SAS, the SWAT, the FBI, the Polish GIGN, or however you say it. You got all those different factions, right? And in the storyline for Siege, yes, there is in fact a bit of a storyline. All of these factions have come together under one flag, the flag of Team Rainbow, to fight against this brand new terrorist threat. So they can pretty much go anywhere with the new operators moving in the future. These aren't the only two operators we're going to see. They plan on releasing two operators with every piece of DLC that's going to happen in Season 1 this year. So they can, give us operators from factions that are already in the game. They can come up with new factions like they may be doing here. They can really do whatever they want. But let's actually take a look at Buck and Frost. As I said, Buck is the attacking operator for the Canadian task forces. We'll just call them for now. His special ability, his gadget, his piece of equipment is going to be a skeleton key. So he has a toggable underbarrel shotgun that he can attach to his main weapon. So much yes, and we'll come back to Buck in a second. Let's take a quick look at Frost. As I said, she is going to be on the defensive side of things. She has a gadget called the Welcome Mat. Uses a mechanical trap to incapacitate enemies. Basically, it's a human bear trap. Everything about that sounds absolutely awesome. First and foremost, if this is in fact their final appearance or the correct appearance for these two operators, I have to say that I feel that is one thing that the team at Siege has always done really well. I absolutely love the direction that they're going with the operators. I love the variety. I love the personality. They all feel like their own characters. It's something I've praised before, and I'm praising it again. Let's go back to Buck, though. Let's talk a little bit about that skeleton key and why I'm obsessed with the idea of this. To me, Buck would just fit my attack playstyle perfectly. I'm definitely someone who enjoys to do a bit of solo roaming. I kind of like to go out, sort of peek in, and just harass the other team. I don't ever really breach one doorway. I won't just, attack through one doorway. I really like to get on the sides of buildings, breach windows, throw frag grenades, just cause havoc, go to the other side of the building, make sure that the other team is always guessing where the rest of my team is and what sort of strategy that we're working on. I figure the more chaos I can cause, and if I can pick up a few kills along the way, then it's one better for my team. The ability to have medium to long range weaponry like an assault rifle and then a shotgun that's going to help me breach a lot of those windows without using breach charges, or just help me do more damage up close, just sounds perfect. I love the idea of that. I love shotguns in Siege, and I imagine that the skeleton key isn't going to have the same sort of range or accuracy or overall effectiveness that you can see from a regular shotgun because of its short barrel length. It does appear to be semi-automatic. It is magazine fed, not just through the tube, so we're not going to have to pump it. I'm totally on board for this. If Buck is in fact a new operator, I am really stoked to add him to my attacking roster. Now let's talk a little bit about Frost and her Welcome Mat gadget here. Who really knows how this thing's going to work, if it's going to take up an entire doorway? The idea of a Welcome Mat does make it seem like it could be quite large, especially if it's going to incapacitate a human. Now how this is actually going to affect the player that is caught in the trap, that's probably one of the biggest mysteries. You know, is it actually going to down but not out the person? Are they simply going to not be able to move but still be able to fire their weapon? I feel like if you got caught in a mechanical trap like that, you'd be in a severe amount of pain. You'd probably start losing blood. You'd have a broken leg or broken ankle. You probably wouldn't be doing much of anything. But these are sort of badass, ultimate save-the-world operators. So if you could still fire in a down but not out rooted style position, why not? It's going to be interesting to see how this thing works. The idea of a welcome mat does make it seem like it will only be able to be placed on the floor. I'm really curious whenever they introduce gadgets like this as to how visible they'll be and how quickly players will be able to get an idea as to how to identify them. You know, they don't put anything in the game trap-wise that can't be identified by the attacking team. And that's a fair balance point, right? It's about being aware. And it's about, on the defending side, doing what you can to trick the enemy into not realizing something is there. You know, putting it in places where it's harder for them to see, trying to catch them off the guard. And sometimes items like a trap or barbed wire, electrified barbed wire, in the case of someone like Bandit, are just funneling tools. And I love that. I love being able to push the enemy where I want them indirectly. If Frost can do that, she's a perfect addition to the defense roster, and I will gladly give her a go. Now, we did also have a leak for potentially, let's say that again, what could be the weapons that will be available for the loadout for these two brand new operators. Now, all of this stuff, all of the sources that I've gathered this from, when it comes to videos like this, will always be down in the description below. I will never not source things. Head on down there if you want to check it all out in your own time and in your own way. So let's go ahead and skip forward and take a look at the available weapons for Buck. He has the choice of either a CAMRS marksman rifle or a wonderful, I forgot how you actually say this, C8 SFW assault rifle. As we can see there, it's actually shown, both of the weapons are shown with his skeleton key underbarrel grenade launcher. Very short barrel, I'm sorry, shotgun. Very short barrel shotgun. Indeed. But let's take a look at the C8 SFW to start off. It is a 5.56 caliber assault rifle. Standard fare assault rifle here, right? We got a 5.56, looking at the damage, the fire rate, the mobility, and the capacity, the recoil pattern. Remember that if any of this is in fact real, all of that stuff is subject to change. They could rebalance the game at that point. They could rebalance this weapon, but it is in fact the assault rifle. And then, as we said before, he also can choose a marksman rifle. To me, this just sounds like the most awesome combination, right? You've got that perfect blend of sort of the shoddy sniper role, right? You got a marksman rifle and then a shotgun underbarrel. You can't really ask for more than that. This will also make Buck one of now what will become 3 operators who also can equip a marksman rifle. You've got Twitch, you've got Glaz, and now you'll have Buck. So adding one more marksman rifle capable operator into the fray. Going to be interesting to see how that all pans out. Not a huge fan of marksman rifles. I feel there is a time and place for them, but just the nature of Siege and the time to kill doesn't make them, in my opinion, effective for my playstyle. Although I do have a friend who plays Twitch rather effectively, I would like to see marksman rifles get some sort of a bonus to just make them a little bit more effective. I know they already hit hard, but I just feel there's things that can be done to make them more interesting, I guess would be the best way to do it. I definitely believe they need to rebalance. Anyways, getting off topic, let's go ahead and take a look at the weapons that will potentially be available for Frost here. So Frost has the selection of a 9mm C1 submachine gun. Looks kind of like a modern Bren, or, you know, submachine gun of that style with a side feed magazine. I love the Bren as a weapon. I think it's gorgeous, and my first, you know, sort of experience with that weapon, apart from watching World War II films, was playing Call of Duty 2 back in the day. There was a Bren machine gun in that, and it was awesome. I don't know, there's something about that machine gun design that to me that just seems so historically badass. She also can use a Super 90 shotgun. This is a pistol grip style shotgun, doesn't actually have a full stock. 12 gauge though, you know, effective breaching tool, kind of what you'd expect from a shotgun. So let's go back quickly to that 9mm C1, because one thing you notice about this is it has a slower rate of fire. So this isn't a high rate of fire submachine gun like many of the submachine guns that are available by current defense operators. For example, Bandit in his MP7 is a rather high fire rate submachine gun. I like the idea of a slower fire rate machine gun with medium stopping power. I really think this is going to be a nice addition to the submachine gun lineup on the defensive side. Very awesome indeed. Now, if any of their gadgets and secondary weapons are correct, you know, we can see a variety of nitro cell shields for Frost, as well as breaching charges and flashbangs for Buck, but none of this really can be confirmed if it is all true. I am very much looking forward to these two operators. I really genuinely do hope that they are legit. I like the direction they're taking with this. I like the theme of the first DLC. And it's good to know that, like, the ideas that they're coming up with are exciting. I was really concerned when they announced they were going to do all this operator DLC that it just kind of wouldn't pan out, right? That it'd be too difficult to come up with new operators that have new gadgets, new pieces of equipment, and to make them seem worthwhile. I think at some point they're going to need to look back and find ways to rebalance the operators that aren't seeing as much use. IQ comes to mind. She feels exceptionally useless. And even Tachanka isn't really a good choice. There's no doubt that the game does need some refining as time goes by. Maybe that's something they'll wait until after they get a big chunk of new operators in the lineup, or maybe it's something they'll do as we go. We've already seen a lot of changes with patch 1.3. There's new patches on the way. I know they're trying to fix a lot of the bugs and issues before they get into serious balancing. Nonetheless, though, excited for the launch of whatever two operators we see, whether they be Buck and Frost or two others, come February. If you guys are unaware, just a little bit of a reminder, when the new DLC does drop in February, if you have the Season Pass, you'll be able to grab these operators completely free. If you don't, you'll have to spend some in-game renown. I believe we're looking at 25,000 renown for each operator. I imagine most of you guys who are still playing Siege and are going to be interested in grabbing the DLC or checking out the DLC, which will also include a free map, will probably have a fat stack of renown already saved up. You probably bought most of the skins that you want, most of the weapons, attachments, and operators, and you will just be banking that stuff, so you'll be ready to go when the DLC does drop. If you did want to buy the Season Pass, they're still selling it. You can actually buy the operators individually for $4. You can really do it however you please. There's a lot of options here. Nonetheless, as I said, I'm very much looking forward to both these operators. I'm looking forward to playing them for myself, giving them a go, and coming back here with my first impressions for them. February is not that far away. I think it would be awesome if Ubisoft released some official trailer videos, some reveal trailers for both of these operators, as well as their task force, give us an idea what they're about and why they've joined up with Team Rainbow in the fight of ever-growing terrorism and such. If you guys have any questions or thoughts of your own regarding this leaked information, feel free to leave it down in the comment section below. The big question that I really want to ask you, ignoring the fact that they are one attacking operator and one defending operator, which one appeals to you most and why? Leave it down in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one.